Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Valiant. It's a tier 5 premium British medium tank. It's located on the northeast spawn of Live Oaks and it's under the command of ProvoBob. And he's on the Australian New Zealand server, which at some times of the day doesn't get that many players. So Wargaming puts a lot of bots into the game and this is one of them. It's a reduced numbers game. They're 2 players short of a normal team. And you can see that ProvoBob likes to play the Valiant a lot, which is kind of strange because this is probably one of the worst tanks that Britain has ever produced. David Fletcher used to bring in a group of new recruits to the British Army tank regiments, and he would actually challenge them to find all the faults with this tank. And he said they'd need an entire day and to start early to find all the faults because it's just got so many. It was basically a design in 1943-1944 to try and devise a new medium tank for the British Army, but they made all the worst possible mistakes and instead it turned out to be absolutely ridiculously bad. Well, ProvoBob's recognised that nobody from the team has stayed behind except for the Arty, and one medium tank has gone down the railway line. And well, he's prepared to actually stay around and try and defend the cap area. You can see he's got 3 marks on the barrels, so he's obviously played this tank enough times to actually get the 3rd mark up. But one of the reasons why he does have a 3rd mark is because this tank is so unpopular to play. A lot of people just won't play it because it's so dreadful. The armour's not good, the gun's not good. Well, it does 110, it's a 75mm, and its reload time by the book is 4.03 seconds, and he's managed to get down to 3.47, but it is still a dreadful tank. It does have good armour at the front. It's got 114mm, and many of the tanks at tier 5 are going to actually have difficulty trying to pen him, and he's actually up against tier 4 tanks as well. The medium tank that went down the railway line has died, and that was a P2640, which is a fairly good tier 4 Italian tank. So I have the feeling that ProvoBob's actually going to come across an enemy tank very shortly, or more than one. We do know that there's a Panzer Mark IV Aslains H somewhere down here. Or I should say a Panzer Mark IV Aslains H, if we're going to mix the languages. Okay. He's also had a number of ace tankers in this tank, as you can see. 3 times he's had the ace tanker at least, and 3 times he's had the high caliber. And the first target he sees is a SAR 42, which is a French medium, and he set him alight, a round into his rear, set the engine ablaze. Okay, who's next? It is that Panzer Mark IV Aslains H. Here we go. At least he hasn't got the derp gun. If he did have the derp gun... Oh, wait a sec. No, maybe I'm wrong. I think that may be the derp gun. And he just couldn't aim it in time. Yes, he's aiming it into the ground. Okay, now that's a P2640, and that's, as I said, they're dangerous tanks. So they've got a wicked HE shell on those tanks. But look at that, he's aiming just for the visible top of the turret. And he lost his driver to the Arty. But the SAR 42 is down. Okay, he's fixed his driver back in. And this is his first aid kit's going to be on cooldown. And there goes the Panzer Mark IV Aslains H. Now, where did that P26 go? We'll see as we go past that Panzer Mark IV if he does actually have the derp gun. Arty's very accurate. Yes, it looks like he does have the derp gun. Yep, he did. He was just very inaccurate. That's the dirt gun, alright. No doubt about that. Short, fat and stubby. A 105mm. Okay. T1 Heavy next. 75mm gun on him as well. There he is. Long way off. But this gun is accurate. That's the one thing you does have in its favour, is its accuracy. Especially when you've played it as much as ProvoBob has. The P2640 managed to escape and get around by going underneath the bridge and around the edge of the lake. He's actually now in the north end of the map and he's being chased by T1 Heavy. ProvoBob's continuing to head south towards the enemy cap area. And why shouldn't he? In fact, an M10 RBFM has actually found the T1 Heavy and is actually engaging him in the courtyard of that building near the cap. ProvoBob stopped for a second and we lost the M10. I think he's actually communicating or was actually typing at the time. Now, if I didn't mention it before, I should mention it and mention it again, is that the bots are the tanks with semicolon, or semicolons, colons in front of the name and behind it. And you can see that there are a few real players on the enemy team. One of them's their Arty, the AMX13AM. Another one is the Matilda Black Prince, and the third one is that T1 Heavy. Everyone else on their team, except maybe the P26, is a bot. You know, P26 is a live player as well. Okay, got an M8A1, but he's across the lake. And there's the T1. Okay. No. Narrowly missed him though. Managed to get that one through the gun mantlets. Good hit. One more to kill. Yep, got him. Now, worth his while crossing the bridge directly. I don't think there's much chance of the enemy tanks attacking him, but the Arty just tried to and failed. Score-wise, we're one tank down on the enemy, but it looks like ProvoBob's managed to get at least 20% of the enemy hit pool. And the Arty tried again, but he couldn't get the shell through the struts. You can do that on occasions, but I think at this moment the Arty is somewhere in grid square G1, and he just couldn't get it through the struts. So there's only 4 left on the enemy team. 3 bots and 1 real player in the AMX13. The bots are all in the north at the moment. The bots don't have a tendency to head towards the cap. They should go towards the cap and start capping, but of course they try to engage any enemy tank that engages them. And that might be their drawback, or their failing in this case, because ProvoBob, he will head towards the cap and then force the enemy to come to him. And if they don't cap, then he will win. Well, there's only 4 against 2 now. They've lost another couple of bots. A DW2, or Der Brukswagen, which is actually a breakthrough tank, actually. I didn't realise that until I read up the other day that the DW2 was actually the first breakthrough tank that the Germans came up with. Not a very good tank, but it is a heavy tank. Oh, nice shot. And the kill shot goes to our T1 Heavy, which means now there's only 1 enemy left. It's the AMX13AM, and I'm fairly certain that he's in that dip somewhere. Now we could sit here and try to cap out and then force him to reveal himself to get the reset, because he doesn't know where we are, but ProvoBob's decided, no, I'm going to go after him. The AMX13AM managed to get the kill on the T1 Heavy, and there he is. He was in that dip, just as I predicted. That one did some critical damage. That one missed altogether. He's not aiming. He's aiming too high. Ah, it's better. Aiming the HE rounds into him, and he's got the kill. So he won the game, and he got 4 kills. Nice game for ProvoBob. A bit of damage, but it'll wash out in the and buff out in the end. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And here's the end of battle results, and it's a first class tanker for ProvoBob in the Valiant, the worst British tank ever. He also managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly. A duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him. A fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle. And a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 7. He also managed to get a high caliber in that game for doing the most damage. And his win rate from the battle was 9,575, which is very good indeed. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, there you go, top of the table with 2,146 hit points. The next high scorer was the P2640 on the enemy team, 1,606, and he wisely evaded ProvoBob. If he'd actually tried to stand up to him, I think he probably would have come a cropper. And the next high score after that was T1 Heavy on our team, 1,404, but he got taken out by the AMX13AM. When it came to kills, it was the T1 Heavy who did the best with 5 kills. ProvoBob managed to get 4, so did the P2640 on the enemy team. And, well, the rest, not so many. The Matilda Black Prince is the only other real player who managed to get more than 1 kill, and that was only 2. When it came to base XP, it's ProvoBob again with 1,239, 810 for the T1 Heavy, 776 for the M10 RPFM. Rather interesting that you cannot get an ace in this vehicle unless you get more than 1,239. So yes, the score must be pretty high. You have to do very well in this tank if you're going to get an ace tanker. He fired 26 rounds in this game, got 22 direct hits and 20 penetrations, damage of 2,146 hit points, of which 312 were at more than 300 meters, received 10 hits from the enemy. All 7 of those were non-penetrations, 5 hits by way of splash damage. Yes, the enemy AMX13AM was very keen to get him, did actually damage him, and he blocked 680 hit points of damage altogether. 2 enemy vehicles spotted, 6 enemy vehicles damaged, 4 killed, and 166 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he earned 42,467 credits, got 50,000 credits for completing the mission and events, and 92,467 credits altogether. After repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, he still made a profit of 37,309 credits altogether. 1,858 XP times 2 for the first victory, 744 for this being a premium vehicle, and took away 4,461 experience points altogether. I suppose the best thing you can say about the Valiant is that it is a crew trainer. You can use it for that purpose. You can actually work up quite a good British medium crew, and that's quite important because there's always the Cromwells, which are used for clan wars and those sort of battles, strongholds battles, and they do need good crews if you're going to get the best out of them. So I guess what you could do is you could train them up in the Valiant, get as many skills as you possibly can, and then stick them in the Cromwells and use them during clan wars and other battles. So I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm.
Feed me Seymour. Feed me all night long. That's right, boy.
And thank you for watching.